Us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. And I thank you, thank you.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not too unsettling. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Time Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the move. So we tune in to First Things First with the Queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is First Things First. And my first thing today, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from the Most High. Asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's open this mic. Let's crack it. Let's go. So the way we do things on a Thursday... Hour one, we look local, what's going on around here. We broadcast from Lamert Park. Africatown is what they call it. Crenshaw District, USA. And so we look on this side of town, Pacific Ocean, of course, and all up and down the West Coast. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive on a hot topic or a person of interest. Today will be meeting singer Omar. He is a UK soul icon who has worked with the likes of Erykah Badu and Stevie Wonder. We'll be welcoming him to the studio live and in person. That should be quite a fun conversation. I've never met him before, and he's got a catalog stretching back. So looking forward to that. And right now, it is me, you, and the microphone, telephone, 800-920-1580. If you got a thing to say, if you want to talk about something, I do have a question for you. And I want to, before I forget, let you know that tomorrow we have Dr. William Sandy Garrity for Freedman Friday. He is the author of From Here to Equality. He is one of our top scholars in the field of reparations, and so that is a conversation I have been chasing for a while. Looking forward to it. Hope you'll join us for that. It's always hour two of our final day of the week. Friday is Freedmen Fridays around here. It's all about reparations, knowing what's going on in the space, being informed, being advocates, learning how to counter some of the silly and not so silly arguments against reparations, and meeting some of the premier thinkers and activists in that space. We've been doing it for more than a year and a half. And so, yeah, Dr. Garrity will join us tomorrow. So here's my question. She's not running. She's not running for governor. Vice President, Attorney General, Senator, District Attorney Kamala Harris, now private citizen attorney Kamala Harris, has decided not to run for governor of the state of California, even though she was leading by a lot in most polls, had the name recognition to probably raise a huge amount of money very fast, and would have scrambled the whole race. Right now you have Antonio Villaraigosa, the former mayor of Los Angeles, running, Tony Thurman, the education superintendent for the state, Betty Yee, former treasurer, who actually has very deep relationships in the African American community. You have, and I'm leaving some out, some important ones I know. Oh, Javier Becerra, the former Secretary of Health and Human Services under Biden. And there's probably a couple of more that I am forgetting. Well, Steve Garvey, of course, but he's a Republican, so we don't need to talk about that unless y'all want to. My question is it a good thing that Kamala Harris has gotten out of this race? And who will you support? Do you know who you'll support? Is it a good thing? I know some people, including Tavis Smiley, who follows me on this radio station every day, his show from 9 to noon, mine from 6 to 9, has been concerned that should we have a governor, Kamala Harris, that the Trump administration would pick on California even more than they already are. Ha ha ha. As if that was possible. Well, I guess it is possible. Just when you say things can't get any worse, they usually can. And I say that in the context, those of you who are part of this KBLA delegation know that I believe fearless is the way forward. I'm not going to be cowed by, fascists or intimidated by oligarchs. That's not what's on the agenda for me, and I don't think it's what's on the agenda for you. Courage is contagious, and we are spreading it around. All right, we need a courage pandemic. That's what we need right now. But that said, this administration is targeting this state. So some folks felt that if Kamala Harris were to get elected, it would get even more intense for the state of California, that it would become just a battle of the titans instead of being about getting things done. Is that a good thing? Some of us felt that they're picking on California anyway. You might as well have a superstar at the helm, a rock star, which Vice President Kamala Harris is, not just because she's broken so many barriers as a vice president, as an attorney general, as a U.S. senator, and even a district attorney, but because she's a prosecutor and she is a dazzling thinker and speaker. That said, that's not what's happening. So the upside, I guess, is we don't have to hear Kamala, Kamala, Kamala all day long from the right. They do it anyway. And the race is over. It's just like our president spends, 5-10% of his time talking smack about Joe Biden. Joe Biden is retired. He's no longer in politics. You're not running against him. Why are you still talking about him? So we get to avoid that annoying specter of these folks obsessing on the vice president. The president is already saying he wants to lock her up for getting people to endorse her for money, which, by the way, there's no evidence she did, number one. And number two, it's not illegal. So even if she did pay Beyonce $11 million, which she didn't, it's not illegal. She's perfectly within her right to do it if she has that money. Appears it didn't happen. There's no evidence that it did. Beyonce denies it. She denies it. But, our president is still obsessed with her. And he is very confused when it comes to Vice President Harris because he's called her beautiful and clearly is confused by the fact that he wants to sleep with her and slaughter her at the same time. Not that unusual. Goes back to the legacy of our enslavement, if you want to go there. But in any case, she's not running for governor. I read LaFonza Butler, who replaced her temporarily as U.S. Senator appointed by Governor Newsom, that just because she's not running for governor doesn't mean she will run for president again. And I supported Kamala Harris for president. I thought she would have made a better president than Biden or Trump or the other people that were lined up to run. But I'm not that enthusiastic about her running in 2028. And the reason is because there's too much baggage. The Democratic Party needs to step away from this centrist baggage, from the Biden energy, and even the Obama energy. I voted for Obama. I think he did some great things. I'm one of his supporters, even though I have and had my critiques. He was a centrist. We knew he was a centrist when we elected him. We did if we were paying attention. But my theory, and I believe it's being proven by recent elections and trends, is that the Democratic Party needs to get away from the corporate, moderate, saying something but not saying anything problem and lean into the progressive wing of the party, where the energy is, where the young people are, where the multi-ethnic democracy could and is actually thriving and could thrive even more. That multiracial democracy that we have never achieved in this country lies in the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. So that means no to Kamala in 2028. Kamala Harris, as much as I supported her and as much as I admire her, is too tied to the centrist wing of the Democratic Party. She couldn't put Rashida Tlaib on stage at the convention, something that will never cease to baffle me. Just one representative for the Palestinian people. You have a sitting a congresswoman, who is a representative who is well-spoken and a member of your caucus. She's not going to go off and go crazy. Put her on stage. Let someone speak for the Palestinians. I was at that convention, and no one did. And there are plenty of people speaking for other groups, including progressive Jews and Zionists. That was a terrible fumble. And I'm not just talking about it to rehash and Monday morning quarterback. I'm talking about it because it represents the kind of thinking in the Democratic Party that is destroying the party, that's denying its future, that is losing us elections. And for those conventional wisdom folks that say, no, the party's gone too far left, and that's what's losing elections, that's exactly the opposite of what's true, James Carville. That's exactly, it's you guys. You calcified Tyrannosaurus centrists that are making the two parties identical enough. I will argue all day long they're not identical, but nevertheless, that are making people like me. I've been a member of the Democratic Party my whole life, albeit perhaps the radical fringe of the Democratic Party. Nevertheless, I've been a member of this party my whole voting life. And right now, a third party is looking real good. Y'all need to wake up and smell the tea leaves. What do you guys think? Should Kamala Harris run for president in 2028? Who will you support for California governor in 2026, which is right around the corner? And what do you think this means for the state of California, but also for her chances as president? I don't see it happening. I know she didn't have a fair ramp up to run the first time because of that sudden move by Biden, but I don't think it's going to go a lot better in 2028. And I'm not saying Newsom for 2028 either. I just think we need somebody. We need somebody amazing who comes from out of nowhere without all this baggage and who represents a fresh, progressive face for the Democratic Party. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580 if you want to weigh in. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Light a candle, pour some wine. Grab a roll, the soft kind for a little me time. Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear. Wavy edges for my rear. So let the softness caress your soul. Just relax, you're on a roll. Let her rip. Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear.
Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear has the same softness you love, now with wavy edges that tear better than the leading one-ply brand. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Hey, man. Hey, what's up, What's that station you listening to? Oh, man, you don't know? That's Talk Radio. KBLA, 1580 AM. Check it out. 1580 KBLA. KBLA AM. 1580 Talk Radio. Progressive.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're celebrating our 4th anniversary, and this track right here is the gift one of our devoted listeners presented to us.
Where you get some information, get a true education, just to know. Ooh, yeah. 1580.
How cool is that? Having a member of our KBLA delegation write us a song. Stop it! Our listeners love us, and there ain't nothing we can do about it. Wouldn't want to. Thanks to Cardell and everybody else for turning on KBLA Talk 1580. We love you right black.
This is Secret Clinical Dominating Extra Stinky Stress Sweat. And this is regular deodorant. Secret Clinical in a heat wave.
Oh, what a beautiful day.
This is regular deodorant.
Ugh, I can't.
Secret Clinical with workout sweat.
Let's run another marathon.
And regular deodorant.
How much more?
Secret is the GOAT. Because nothing fights sweat better.
Stay fresher under pressure.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
So everybody in Cali that had their sights set on this governor's race is scrambling right now. It's on, in other words. I knew I was forgetting someone. I forgot about Katie Porter, who, she ran for senator and threw some sharp elbows on Barbara Lee. We ended up with neither one of them as senator. She's running. And Eleni Kolinakis, who, of course, has statewide fame. Also, Chad Bianco, who is a MAGA guy he's a sheriff out of the Inland Empire. So there's a lot of folks running. Everybody's going to be making their phone calls and trying to get your vote, trying to raise money. It's on. 2026 is just, a burp and a fart away. So it will be here in a heartbeat. I don't know who I'm supporting yet. I'll tell you that. I have a history of supporting Antonio Villaraigosa, the mayor of Los Angeles. I supported him in his first failed bid to be mayor, in his second successful bid, and in his reelection. And I'm glad that I did. I think he did a great job as mayor. I don't think he gets credit for what he did as mayor. However, I have to see where he is right now on several questions, including reparations, because that was then and this is now, right? Tony Thurmond, some folks are automatically supporting him because he's black and has held statewide office before. That's not a given for me, although I do prioritize black. I need to know that you're the best guy for the job. And as superintendent, I think I need to do more research about what this man really got done. Okay? Katie Porter, I'm still mad at her for leaving that seat, that congressional seat in Orange County and messing up the race for Senate, even though I know she's a solid progressive, which is a good thing, and probably would make a good governor. I think I'm still holding a grudge. Betty Yee has solid credentials in the African American community as an Asian American and a woman. Maybe it's time for that in the governor's chair. She's also going to be fiscally smart because she's been a controller, a treasurer. So she's got a lot to recommend her. But I don't know who I'm going to support. Javier Becerra has been a longtime progressive, comes out of the Biden administration, so presumably he would have a good understanding of how to get stuff from Washington for us, which we are going to need because we're already seeing some terrible, terrible impacts of our state budget cuts because the state is already suffering from the fact that we have a down budget year. So lots of things to consider when you think about who you will support for governor. I don't know yet. I'll be investigating that. I'll be figuring it out. I'd love to hear your recommendations. Maybe you will influence me. There's a couple people on this list of people running that I don't know who they are, but I guess that's normal. Let's go to Iona calling us from Los Angeles. Good morning, Iona.
Hi there. It's Ina from Gardena.
Oh, Ina from Gardena. Hi.
Hi there. Yes, I want to say Dr. Butch Ware because I think we have Malcolm X in him, Frederick Douglass, and W.E.B. Du Bois.
Okay.
And I think it's time for a change.
It's definitely time for a change. Butch Ware ran for vice president on the Green Party ticket. And I'm holding a grudge against him for that. I think Jill Stein should have sit her butt down in that presidential race, and that would have helped us a great deal. She runs every time. I find it very suspect. Where is she getting her funding? What happened to the money that she raised to do a recount of the Hillary Clinton race, a recount that never happened? Now, I get that Butch Ware is not Jill Stein, but he was her running mate, and that, to me, makes me give him the side eye. I'm going to be honest with you, Iana from Gardena. Talk to me.
But he is
defend your guy. Come on, girl. Get up to bat.
Okay, no, he had to think about his position, and then to me, the Palestinian issue was, that was a big issue.
Yeah, of course it was a big issue, but Jill Stein didn't help us with that. She should. I wish she would. You know what? Let's turn the Green Party black, red, black, and Green Party, because I'm tired of this woman running every time. And I know some of us, including the owner of this station, don't believe in the concept of spoiler, and I get that. We need to have third parties. Everyone has a right to run, but if you just showing up every time and you not winning, and you just over here taking votes that we need for no apparent... What issues did she raise that weren't raised by Dr. Cornel West? We didn't need her in that race.
Well, that's true, but let's not look at her for governor for California.
I understand what you're saying. Butch Ware is running. And, and he is he's a professor, and he is a Muslim. He is a Muslim scholar. And he's on Tavis's show all the time. So I'm pretty sure that people are familiar with him. You like him just because you want someone more progressive in the race.
Definitely. And you have to be like the pro-Palestine or no genocide.
I think that's good for every candidate and every person. I would be more concerned about that for a president or a vice president because they're going to have more impact. But it is true the state of California could divest, and that would be good. So I can see why you would have that as a consideration. My top considerations for governor are going to be where are you on education, supporting things like the Black Student Achievement Plan, and where are you on reparations? What are you doing about water policy? What is your plan for the unhoused? To me, those are much more immediately relevant to the role of governor.
Well, right. He's with you in all those issues because, he has, not just because he has a special needs son and his wife is Mexican, but he just is for the people. Yeah, he would be a people party person like Walter Rodney. I mean, he would be, he's pro. I mean, he has his major in Middle Eastern studies.
Yeah.
I think he did education in Senegal, I believe.
Yeah, he teaches at UC Santa Barbara at the moment in the Department of History.
But,
I mean, I can see why you would support him as a progressive. I'm not there yet. And maybe he'll come on this show and we'll talk about it. Let me ask you one real quick question, Iana from Gardena, because we only have 30 seconds here. Would you support? How do you feel about supporting people who have a very, very slim chance? Is that a waste of our time and energy, or is it an important statement?
I think it's important because I think if, like the abolitionist Frederick Douglass, I think there was a point that there was a slim chance of things happening, and even with, there.
No, you're right. I mean, there was a slim chance that we'd end slavery. There was a slim chance that we'd have a black president. There was a slim chance, of a lot of things. So I take your point. Iana, it's fun talking with you. If you want to stay with me, you're welcome. But right now it's time for news, traffic, and sports. You know where you are. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. New audio from January's deadly midair crash at Reagan National Airport has been released.
I just saw a fireball and then it was just gone. So I haven't seen anything since they hit the river, but it was a CRJ and a helicopter that hit.
The collision killed 67 people. The NTSB played the chilling black box recording during a hearing in D.C. Two black community leaders in Cincinnati, Ohio, are clarifying their comments on a downtown brawl involving black and white people. NAACP President David Whitehead and Iris Rowley say remarks they made were taken out of context and stress they don't condone violence. Both are calling for a fair investigation. And Bryson Tiller drops the first half of his double album, The Vices, on August 8th. The second half, Solace, arrives later this year. Tiller's also on tour right now with Chris Brown. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Emergencies can happen at any time. That's why building an emergency kit and having a plan is so important. Southern California Edison stays ready for the unexpected, and they encourage you to be prepared too. For more information and to update your outage alerts, visit SCE.com/beprepared.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers lost at Cincinnati 5-2. Their lead in the NL West is down to 3 games over San Diego. The Padres have won 5 straight. The Angels' 3-game winning streak was snapped with a 6-3 loss at home to Texas. The highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL plays for the Chargers. Left tackle Rashawn Slater signed a 4-year extension worth $114 million. $92 million is guaranteed. Slater, entering his 5th season with the Chargers, will average $28.5 million with his new deal. The HBCU Legacy Bowl, an all-star game for HBCU football players, got a major financial boost from the John Madden Foundation. The foundation, named in honor of the legendary NFL broadcaster, agreed to cover all expenses for the Legacy Bowl career fair, which attracts more than 800 HBCU students from around the country. The Legacy Bowl is scheduled for February 21st in New Orleans. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, everyone. My name is Raquel Graham, and I have a big announcement to make. I have my own radio show. It debuts on KBLA 1580 on August 2nd, and it is called Entrepreneuring. I'm an inventor, a Shark Tank winner, entrepreneur for over a decade, and a proud mom of 2. I created this show because I know firsthand that entrepreneurship doesn't have just one look. Entrepreneuring celebrates what building a business really looks like: big, medium, small, and micro. Some of us are running multi-million-dollar operations. Some of us are braiding hair in our kitchens. We're bakers, grant writers, laundromat owners, event promoters. Mark your calendars. Please tune in August 2nd, KBLA 1580 at 1 p.m. Pacific time. No question is too big or small. Let me know what you'd like for me to cover. See you then.
You have cancer. The 3 words no one wants to hear. Of the cancers that impact our community, lung cancer is the most dangerous. More people succumb to lung cancer than colon, breast, and prostate combined. Black men are 12% more likely to develop lung cancer, and cases for Black women are rising. Early detection and comprehensive treatment is the best way to beat this dreaded disease. Providence is a research leader in multi-cancer early detection, offering blood tests that identify fast-spreading cancers that don't show symptoms in early stages. The Providence Los Angeles Integrated Network Cancer Program determines best protocols for each patient, interacting with specialists who share experiences, perspectives, and new findings specific to each case. With over 1,000 board-certified physicians, including top oncologists, surgeons, radiologists, and nurse specialists, Providence delivers whole-person care that understands your culture, values, preferences, and priorities. So, if you hear the words "you have cancer," all you need is faith and providence.org/cancer.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we aim to foster enlightening, sustainable, restorative dialogue, and we welcome unapologetically progressive viewpoints that empower fellow citizens. We are now accepting submissions for KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorials like this one.
With the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley Show conversation with James Farr. James said something that caught me off guard. Black out the Dina is gone. My community is being murdered. I said murdered.
All you have to do is go to our website homepage at KBLA1580.com and click on the icon that says KBLA Guest Editorials to learn more about our editorial standards and content submission guidelines. As long as the topic aligns with our mission, we are happy to review your submission and consider it for broadcast. We can't make any promises, but we want to amplify progressive perspectives that are community-focused and solution-oriented. So, go to KBLA1580.com right now to download all the information you need about our guest editorials. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I do appreciate you. And I posed the question this morning for our West Coast Hour. Should Kamala Harris run for president? Who are you going to support for governor now that she has decided she's out? I do not know yet. Iana from Gardena says Butch Ware, the Green Party guy who is a professor of African Studies and Muslim Studies at UC Santa Barbara. And Iana, I just wanted to let you land.
Yes, so with Dr. Butch Ware, definitely for California, because we do have to start something to get. I always hear you say it on your show, and Dr. Abdullah, that we do have to, create something new if we want to see something different. But I think he's a combination of Malcolm X, Frederick Douglass, and
praise.
W.E.B. Du Bois.
Okay, I'm not there with you yet, but I certainly will take that under advisement and take a closer look at Mr. Ware. I think that he's one of the few people with a blue check mark that was on my Instagram defending me in this debate about race that's going on my Instagram that was set off by a conversation I had with rap artist Jay French. So it's funny because I don't even know Dr. Ware, but he jumped in there trying to defend me. So I suppose I should be grateful for that. In any case, you can find that at DiPrima Radio, DIPRIMA. That's my Instagram. It's still raging on. That particular clip from the show has over 1 million views and lots and lots and lots of, I don't know how to describe them. People who aren't black are just trashing me. Meanwhile, my followers are growing. So, hey, also, while we're on the social media question, KBLA 1580 is where you can find us on all platforms, and that is where we are streaming right now on YouTube. If you want to see Omar, the singer who will be joining me in the final hour of the show, live in studio, he is a UK soul icon. You definitely want to go on YouTube. And if you want to talk, the comments section on YouTube is always fire. Let's see. The forensic accountant says, for example, explain to me how any candidate can lower the cost of living. Well, that's a good question because we don't control inflation, but we can make moves to help. We can make moves to shore up our farmers. We can make moves to fight against the things that push people out on the street, like cuts to Medicaid, which is Medi-Cal here in the state of California, or cuts to Social Security. We can look at implementing things which have so far exclusively been done by Democrats, by the way, such as universal basic income programs, which help lift people out of poverty, that kind of thing. Paul Lee, a.k.a. Sherrod, says after Jill Stein and Kristen Sinema, nobody messing with the Green Party. That is pretty funny. And Snack Panther says Sinema came from Arizona, Green Party, no lies there. Carl Tucker says, I heard Kamala Harris change her thoughts on the people yesterday about president. I did not see that. Paul asking what we think about Tony Thurman. I'm not there yet. I'm going to need some convincing on that one. I love that he's African American. I love that he's held statewide office. I need to see more, and that's on me. I should have perhaps been tracking this more carefully, but I need to see more evidence of what you've done that shows me that you're the guy that's ready for that job at this point. Molly Bell says, not saying I'm not open to another candidate for president. I stated why I wasn't supportive of Gaza, but you, Dominique, helped me understand Israel. Love you for that. Thank you, Molly Bell. We got time. You don't have to decide who to support for president. The question was whether Kamala Harris should run, and I don't think she should, because I think she brings Biden with her. And we don't need to relitigate 2024 and 2028. We need a fresh start. We need a fresh progressive start. That's my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. 800-920-1580. Dwight, straight out of Compton. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. Hotep Peace. Good morning, KBLA family and the hardworking post workers out there, and Miles and Tavis. Thank you, Dominique, for always giving us important information we need to know. And, Dominique, I'm still open to who I want for governor. Only one I really am aware of is Mayor Villarreal-Gosa and his progressive stance on a lot of things. But I agree with you on the party, the Democratic Party, they seem to avoid the word poor. They always say middle class, middle class.
Yep.
You know, are they afraid?
They can't even say working class. I mean, if you don't want to say poor or under-resourced, at least say working class.
Yeah, say poor and working class. You know, let us know they need the most help, and don't be afraid to stand up for against police brutality, to stand up against health care benefits for poor and working class people, to stand up for ending this genocide of the people in Gaza, because we're supplying the bombs and stuff. And like you said, during the Democratic convention, they didn't even have someone give an alternative view from Palestinian point of view. We had people in Congress. You can't give one side of everything. Yes, we're against the Hamas terrorist attack that killed 1,200 people, but now over 60,000 people, innocent Palestinians, have been killed, and the denial of water, food, and medicine, that's war crimes. And Benjamin Netanyahu is not anti-Semitic to say you're against the Israeli government of Benjamin Netanyahu denying food, water, and medicine to innocent Palestinians, including children. I mean, we shouldn't have to wait till kids' bones are showing out of their backs before somebody says something about it.
That's right.
Sad. It's sad,
That's
Dominique.
right.
But thank you for standing up for us. And I'm going to keep an open mind to who I want for governor. Right now, I'm aware of Vera Gosa's progressive stance on a lot of things. So right now, that's who I'm looking at. But I'm open to any new people coming into the race, and just continue to fight, Dominique. Thank you for standing up for all the things that need to be stand up for, because before you for poor people, it shouldn't be a shame, something you're ashamed of.
No, in fact, if you ask the question, what would Jesus do?
Yeah,
you should
be ashamed of Jesus right now.
Right.
It's like they and then all these Republicans come on. Oh, I didn't vote for Trump. That's like a Christian saying, I'm a Christian, but I don't believe in Jesus. I mean, come on. You're a Republican. You voted for Trump all 3 times, I bet, because they're good at lying and making everything appear like middle of the road stuff. But when it comes down to it, they always vote for the extreme billionaires. How are you going to take people off of Medicare to give tax cuts to billionaires? And then they're liars. So, of course, they're going to come on the air making things look nice and middle of the road, but they are liars. I wouldn't trust anything they say, Dominique. And I'd ask them, did you vote for Trump? No, I didn't vote for Trump, but I'm a Republican. I'm a Christian, but I didn't vote for Jesus. Come on. Yeah. But, Dominique, I love your show. Thank you for all the information you give us, and I love you. Thank you for KBLA and the KBLA family.
Well, we love you more, and thank you, Dwight, one of our day ones right there. I'm getting preliminary reports. I haven't been able to confirm it the way we're supposed to confirm with at least 2 or 3 sources, but it appears that Chris Smalls may have been released. Chris Smalls, the Amazon union labor leader who's been detained by Israel, but I'm not able to, and actually was reportedly beaten by them as well. What I am getting is that he has been released. I'm going to, and is in Jordan. So I'm going to follow up on that. I hope that is true. One source is saying that he's meant to be flying from Jordan to Newark. So prayers that's true. That, of course, Chris Smalls was part of the Freedom Flotilla, which was a boat full of activists who were trying to bring supplies to starving people in Gaza and defy that blockade. So among them, the only black person on the boat, of course, got beaten up, kicked, and now apparently has been released. That's the reports I'm getting. Like I said, I haven't been able to unequivocally verify that, but that's what I believe the case is at this hour. Dwight, call me at 800-920-1580. I invite you to do the same. I'm Dominique DiPrima. I'm unapologetically progressive. Hope you are too, but you're welcome in no matter where you stand. This is the place where we can talk about it. This is a place where we're not scared. A little transparency, a little engagement, a little dialogue makes us all smarter. KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Yeah. At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
We do more than just talk, but we do a lot of talking. That's what we do around here. And you're invited in to talk with us at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Forensic Accountant does point out that Kamala Harris has a book coming out in September called 107 Days. I did see that on Google News, where she's going to describe the days of her campaign. She only had 107 days to run. And if she does that, it would certainly allow her to go on a book tour. A lot of people do that when they're running for president. It seems like almost a prerequisite. You know, Hillary had a book. Obama had a book. They write a book, they go on a tour, they sign the book, they have a reason to be in the public eye. It could be an indication she'll run again. It might just be because she wants to have a book. New York Times is reporting that she is putting together an organization focused on voting. And there are reports, including from Robert Garcia of California, that she is planning to spend 2026 trying to flip the House and the Senate, lending her support in these various races. It sounded like, from what LaFonza Butler was saying, the former U.S. Senator and Labor leader LaFonza Butler, who is friends with Harris, that we shouldn't assume just because she's not running for governor, it means she will run for president. And it is also interesting that if she does run for president, she will be facing a lot of the people that she was considering as vice president, and including her own vice presidential pick, Tim Walz, who's planning to run for president in 2028. So there's a lot to consider. I've made it clear what I think. I think it would be better for her to sit this one out. Josh Shapiro is already running. Andy Beshear from Kentucky, Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland, which may be one of the real reasons why he vetoed that reparations legislation. And of course, Pete Buttigieg, who's been running for president since at least 2016. It looks like Governor Newsom is running for president. He hasn't officially declared, but it certainly walks like a duck. So she would have a tough field and a lot of baggage. We'll see. I believe there will be more people stepping in who are more progressive. Folks are talking about AOC or Julian Castro, younger, more progressive Democrats. We shall see. Let's go to Dee calling from Long Beach. Good morning, Dee.
Good morning, Dominique. How do you do?
I do good. How do you do?
I'm maintaining. I'm not going to paint it better than it is, but I'm not going to paint it worse than it is. I would run for governor. However, as a black Republican, I don't have a base. There are no black Republicans to speak of.
Let's see, you got Candace
Owens. But if they cross the party, if they crossed party lines to support me, that would be a powerful statement in a minority America.
Why would they do that? What would you offer on your platform that would make people cross party lines to vote for you, Dee?
Education, entrepreneurship, and the environment.
What about education? Everyone says that. Specifically what?
Well, I think education should be project-based. I think that middle schools should have single-sex classrooms. Boys should start later. What else?
Well, at least you're saying something that's an actual thing, not just a whole bunch of, I'll make things better.
Right. And where else was I going? With education, there needs to be standard English as a second language for young black learners. There needs to be a foreign language requirement to graduate from high school. I mean, I can go on and on.
You could. Okay, so you think people should cross party lines to vote for you, but you also said you probably won't run because you're a black Republican. The other thing to consider is that California is a huge state and it costs a lot of money to run for governor here. It's not like running for governor of Montana. You need deep pockets to reach all these folks.
And I can't afford to buy the election.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't have deep enough pockets to buy the election. So who will you support? Do you know? Surely you're not going to support Chad Bianco, the Riverside sheriff, who is a MAGA guy, because I know you, even though you're a Republican, D, you're not a big Trump guy.
It's unknown at this point. I think there should be some competition.
Oh, so you might support Chad Bianco.
No. I'm saying Mr. Villaraigosa needs some competition.
He's got a lot of competition. I mean, the current Lieutenant Governor, Eleni Koulonakis, is running. She's got deep pockets. Former Secretary of Health and Human Services, Javier Becerra, is running. Steve Hilton, I don't know too much about him. He's a conservative commentator from Fox News. Tony Atkins, who was a California president of the Senate. Katie Porter, the progressive congresswoman who tried to be U.S. Senator. Tony Thurmond, who was the state superintendent of public instruction. The only black person that I see so far having jumped in. Betty Yee, who was vice chair of the California Democratic Party. She was a former state controller. And then, of course, you said Villaraigosa. There's others, but those are the ones that are, the major names we know. Of course, we talked about Butch Ware. But there are others. Somebody named Zoltan Istvan Gyurko, Raji Robb, and some other folks that I haven't heard of. So there's going to be a lot of competition.
Yeah, but the thing with Becerra and Villaraigosa, they would split. They would cannibalize the Latino vote, don't you think?
Yeah, but the Latino vote is huge. I mean, you can cannibalize the Latino vote and still get a whole bunch of folks, especially in L.A. I mean, but even all throughout the state of California, the Latino vote is formidable. I don't know. I mean, you could say a fair number of black folks will also support Villaraigosa because of the relationships that he has and his long time in office, from being Assembly Speaker to being Mayor of L.A. You could say the same about Betty Yee, who's got deep, deep roots in black political organizing circles. And yet, Tony Thurmond is still running. Are you saying if we're splitting votes, we shouldn't be running?
No, everyone has a chance to run.
Yeah.
What left a bad taste in my mouth from the Villaraigosa mayoralty, if that's a word, is that he priced independent black truckers out of the market.
Oh, with his green initiatives?
Yeah.
I don't know that can be stated as a fact, but I have heard others complaining about that. But that's anytime you try to green stuff, it's going to impact businesses that rely on diesel fuel and fossil fuels. So I don't have the data, but that could be a valid criticism. I'll choose air to breathe if I have to make a choice, but there should be some kind of subsidy for those businesses that are disproportionately impacted.
Yeah. Tax the big corporations for polluting.
How about that, or the oil companies? It's time for news, traffic, and sports, Dee. I always enjoy talking with you. I thought you were going to call about tariffs. Maybe you'll do that another day. Let's keep it going. 800-920-1580. That's the number. You can call me just like Dee did. Love to talk to you. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. New audio from January's deadly midair crash at Reagan National Airport has been released.
I just saw a fireball and then it was just gone. So I haven't seen anything since they hit the river, but it was a CRJ and a helicopter that hit.
The collision killed 67 people. The NTSB played the chilling black box recording during a hearing in